Street Fighter, a fighting game esteemed in history for what, like 35 years? Only gaining more and more popularity with each new release, and I've just tried getting into these games since days of like Third Strike on the PlayStation, and I've just never managed to get into them. Just decided this series wasn't for me. And well, along comes Street Fighter 6, which is just insistent on proving me otherwise. I've dabbled in a decent amount of fighting games, but this review will essentially be coming from a Street Fighter newcomer's perspective, or a scrub as I like to call myself. Anyways, I've gone from never enjoying the series to just being in love with Street Fighter 6, and I think I can break it down to 3 big factors which sold me on this one. An overhaul in presentation in general, a new defensive fighting mechanic, and the new single player content World Tour. First up, just look at the game. It's undeniably gorgeous and was the biggest factor as to what got my interest up in the trailers in the first place. They move towards this hip hop graffiti street style of aesthetics, and it honestly just separates it from any other fighting game I've seen. Menu presentation is colourful and character designs are just incredible, each character feeling very distinct, and a lot of newcomers bringing this modern facelift to the roster. Except for Dalton, oh god, he can just do one for all I care. All of the characters level 3s are diverse and entertaining to watch too, and even when I'm getting wrecks like 10 games in a row, I actually still don't mind watching them deck me with these level 3 finishes somehow. Also, when fighting, there's this new drive impact mechanic that further incorporates that graffiti vibes. It's just so satisfying to see it slow motion as well when these drive impacts collide. It's stunning, and the visual reward for when you pull off a cool move or a counter just always feels great, man. Next up, I want to talk about a relatively big change up in the gameplay, which I think really helps newcomers like me adapt to the game. You've got the modern style control layouts, which simplify a lot of movesets so you can adapt easier to each new fighter, making it less of a grind to feel like you can pull off some cool moves with just characters you're trying out. And much like most other fighting games, there's this large element of rock, paper, scissors. Block stops punching, grab speed to block, punch wins over a grab. But attacks are split up into lows, mediums and highs, and Street Fighter's attack animations have always felt so sharp and quick to me that I've just never been able to block effectively enough to fight off spammers and pros alike. So this time around we have a parry and drive impact mechanic. Parrying is essentially easy block, which uses a drive gauge but can block any height move, and from there you can counter or rush in for an attack. Honestly, I can't stress how much of a game changer this is. Drive impact on top of this is pushing through weaker attacks to stun your opponents for a short duration. And to me, this shifts the game entirely. Instead of it being master a character combo string with an extensive button layout, the game is more about learning to master the rock, paper, scissors layout. People spamming attacks, I can parry and then counter. Those that keep parrying me, I learn to mix in throws, and those that keep decking me with throws, I'm learning to control the space between us with pokes. It's just so much more accessible, and I still get bodied, believe me. It's just sometimes a passage to getting better. You have to lose, but here I at least feel like I can learn from it. I'm seeing which options I should choose of instead, and it's not just me losing because my combos aren't as great. And finally is World Tour, a single player campaign mode which disguises the fact that it's also a tutorial for new players. Flashy cutscenes and an insane character creation is already a big win, but they chucked in this RPG-like element where your character can choose between fighting styles of existing characters and mix up their specials. Build up your stats, fight your way through the story, and traverse the world around you. It's really great fun. But at the same time, you're progressing through the story, which is just drip feeding you all of these mechanics that I mentioned a moment ago. And so just enjoying the juicy single player content, I was subconsciously improving my game. And granted, Street Fighter 6 is not without its problems too. Learning characters, whilst simplified with the modern layout, is still troublesome as the character courses, which act like combo exams, only tell you the move names you need to pull off and not what the buttons for those moves actually are. So I'm constantly swinging in and out the menu to check what the moves are that they're wanting me to pull off. The battle passes we seem to be getting are bare minimum rewards, and there's just really no motivation to complete these. You can only create one creator character as well, and extra slots cost actual money, which sucks. And when fighting, throw loops seem to be one of the biggest problems for low level matchups. There's no build up in throw animations, and there's no reading throws per se. It's a lot of guesswork to cancel out of one, and it's an element that can easily put off newcomers. Learning to space and poke against throws is something I'm still having trouble with as a Street Fighter scrub. But overall, this game is such a big win for me, and I can say that being someone who is constantly getting his ass kicked and coming back for more, because I can understand why I lost the match, and when I learn from that and I win a match of my own, it's so rewarding. DLC characters that are coming out down the line look exciting too, and I'm just interested to stick around with this one and see how it rides out. With this, Tekken 8 and Mortal Kombat 1, this could be a really fun couple of years for fighting games. We just need Soul Calibur now. So yeah, that's Street Fighter 6. Have you already been playing this? And if you have, I'd love to hear your thoughts down in the comments below. If you found this video helpful, feel free to leave a like and subscribe and all that stuff. And as always, stay tuned for more reviews on movies, anime, and video games. Until next time guys, take care. See ya.